welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. David, what's up? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? We're live discussing the latest news about the hostages. Okay.
You're sharing it only now. This is very late. Sorry. As some may already know, I'm kind of sick, and I was already very sick when I went to the debate.
You're sick.
I was going to the debate, and I told James, "Hey, James, I'm very sick," and he said, "Hey, as long as you're not dying, just come over here. It's okay."
That's what he said. Yeah,
That's probably not exactly what he said, but that's what it sounded like to me. So.
yeah. You told me before the debate. You're like, oh, I don't know. I'm very sick. If I don't get better, then you'll have to take my place and debate Gnostic informant.
Yeah. But then I went, and it was awesome. But anyway, I'm kind of sick, so this might be short. But I originally wanted to talk today about a different topic, which was about the 21, being the 21 Christians, Coptic Christians, who were killed by ISIS 10 years ago, and who are being commemorated as great people. And there is a film about them called The 21. That is a short film that I shared on my YouTube community tab for those who want to watch it. I was originally wanting to go live about that. However, yeah, it's 20 Coptic and 1 from Ghana. I know. But yeah, that's pretty much how people remember it. But then today, there is news breaking right now about the Israeli Bibas family. And to many people, this family will look very, very familiar because of the images of the baby's face. The little baby Kfir Bibas that was kidnapped on October 7 by Islamic terrorists. Can't say Muslim terrorists, that's kind of offensive. So I have to say Islamic terrorists. That was kidnapped on October 7. Hamas says today that they will hand over their dead bodies this weekend. That's what they're saying. Now, Israel has been keeping up their hope that these little children are not actually dead, that they are still alive. And as far as it seems right now, the Israeli government and government accounts still say, do not spread, do not believe them, do not say that they are definitely dead. Let's wait and see. We don't want to fall for psychological warfare. The thing is that Hamas has repeatedly said that that these children and the baby are dead, and that they will deliver their bodies now. I'm not sure. I mean, I would of course hope that they are still alive, but it doesn't seem like that at this point. And this is incredibly important, because what Hamas says and what some pro-Hamas propagandists say at this point is that it's not Hamas's fault, or it's not the Palestinian, it's not the fault of Gazans that these children are dead. It's the fault of Israel, or they might have died in Israeli airstrikes. It's all just so messed up beyond belief. And we will get into it in a minute. You might remember his face from this photo, which was widely shared in Israel, by Israelis, by others, by allies around the world. This is Kfir Bibas, a little baby that was taken hostage by Palestinians on October 7. And think about it. This little baby is not just a little baby that is a civilian casualty. It's not a baby that got in the way of fighting, that they accidentally target, that they accidentally killed, that they accidentally injured, that they accidentally kidnapped. What actually happened here in this case is that these people who on October 7, the so-called Palestinians on October 7, who came into Israel, went and deliberately kidnapped this little baby. that was at the time 9 months old. 9 months. 9 months old. They actually took a 9-month-old little baby together with their with the family. So with the older sister, who was at that time 4 years old. The sister's name is Ariel, and also their parents. Shiri and Yarden. Yarden was recently released. Shiri is the mother, who is allegedly also dead. So all three of them are dead. They were killed. They were captured and killed by Palestinian terrorists. And of course, now you will have some people come in here and say, "Oh no, it's actually not their fault. It's actually Israel's fault." I can't even begin to express how sick, how twisted, and how messed up this idea is. Think about it. There are some. It could actually be that this family was murdered as a result of back and forth fighting and shooting and airstrikes. Everything could be. It could be that these so-called Palestinians actually executed this entire family and shot these little children with their parents, with their mother. It could be that they died under some different circumstances. It could be that it was an airstrike aimed at terrorists that actually killed them. Oh, Ariel is a boy. Okay, yeah. It doesn't matter how they died. What matters here is that these terrorists took them as hostages. Now, imagine this scenario, right? Somebody comes and takes your children as hostage and hides them in their own place and then starts firing at you from that place. You don't know where your children are. In the middle of the firing back and forth, somehow, it doesn't matter how, these children die. Whose fault is it now that these children are dead? It doesn't matter at all how these children die. Whose fault is it that these children are dead? It's the fault of those who kidnapped the children, the fault of those who actually took those children, the fault of those who actually decided to use these children as for negotiations, for politics. So I don't know. They're allegedly dead, and their bodies are supposed to be delivered later this week. There are some things that we need to talk about here. Some people say, "Oh, this is Hamas." It's not just Hamas. You have, for example, here Emmanuel Macron jump in, Shiri, Kfir, Ariel, faces of innocence and love, faces of an eternal humanity that the barbarism of Hamas will never abolish. France, mobilized for the liberation of all hostages, stands with Yarden and the Bibas family in universal brotherhood. Get the hell out of here, man. This guy actually took punitive action against Israel and spoke in favor of so-called Palestinian, freedom and statehood and so on. These children, this family was not taken hostage by Hamas. They were taken hostage by regular Palestinians. Their death is not just caused by Hamas. Their death is caused by regular Palestinians. These actions were not just taken with the approval of Hamas. They were taken with the approval of the majority of the so-called Palestinian population. They were all in on it. They approved of it. Here you have footage. Let's have some footage here. Here we see footage of this family being taken and captured. What do you see here? Do you see here Hamas fighters in Hamas uniform Well, you see just regular Palestinians here. Just regular Palestinians walking with them. So-called Palestinians. You had people in civilian clothing attacking them and capturing them. It wasn't just Hamas terrorists dressed as Hamas terrorists coming and capturing them. These are the children. Same footage, and so on. Here is a post by Kosher saying, please read, it's important. It wasn't just Hamas that kidnapped the Bibas family. Shiri and her two baby boys, for some reason I was under the impression that one of them is a girl. Baby boys were kidnapped by regular Gazans, see images below, and then last seen on CCTV being handed over by the Gazans to a jihadist group called Kataib al-Mujahideen. Yarden was beaten bloody by a huge crowd of regular Gazans and taken on a motorbike after his wife and two baby boys were carted off to Gaza. See video below. Let's look at those quickly here. So you have here a female, Quds News Network says, a female Israeli settler along with her children have been captured and brought to the Gaza Strip by Palestinian freedom fighters. They just report about this like it's a normal thing. Freedom fighters captured a female Israeli settler along with her little baby and little child and took them to Gaza for the sake of freedom. That's all it is, right? It's all just that's all it is. It's just all for the sake of fighting for freedom. So here you have they were handed over by Gazans to a jihadist group called Kataib al-Mujahideen. This is the video in question. Palestinian media called the people committing this atrocity freedom fighters, and other Palestinian propaganda outlets accounts have called this innocent and beautiful family prisoners of war. This is the father, Yarden Bibas. He was beaten by a mob of Palestinians. It isn't just the elected Hamas government that have led us to where we are right now. There is a much wider, much more embedded jihadist mentality amongst Palestinian society in general. There is no denying that anymore, I'm afraid. You've seen the crowds at the hostage releases over the past few weeks. The children being given automatic weapons to hold by masked Hamas terrorists. That mentality, what led to the Bibas family and many other families being torn apart. For example, children like the Simon Tov kids being burned alive with their parents. I'll put their story in the comment thread. Whatever the outcomes with the hostage body releases, this goes further than just Hamas. Right now, all we can do is pray. My heart goes out to every hostage family during this really difficult time. Please try to respect them and do not spread rumors or anything that has not been verified by Israel. And this is another report about a family that was burned alive by the very same people. Here are further high-resolution images of the father in question, Yarden Bibas, the father of these two children, being beaten up and then carried away as hostage by what appears to be regular Palestinian civilians. These don't look like a bunch of militants in uniform. These are regular Palestinian civilians. So-called Palestinian civilians, so-called Gazan civilians. There's also, of course, the other detail here, which is when you go back to the aftermath of October 7 and look at how many among them actually approved of the actions of October 7, you can find that the majority of them approved of it. I posted this earlier. The Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research, which is PCP Survey Research, says October the 7th and the war in Gaza, when Palestinians were asked about what they think about this, 72% of the public believe that Hamas's decision to launch the October 7 attack was correct. So there are some people who go around claiming that that it is just Hamas that is in charge, and Hamas is doing these atrocities. The civilian population has nothing to do with it. In fact, the civilian population itself is oppressed. We have seen videos of people of Gazans going around and saying, "No, no, no, we are against Hamas. We are being oppressed," and so on and so on. That's of course a very, very easy thing to say when you are being destroyed and bombed and crushed, and then being interviewed by the other side. When they were asked by their own surveyors, 72% of them believed it was good for their terrorists to go and carry out these terrorist attacks, to go and rape and burn and kill and capture babies and capture children and so on. There is no going back from this. These people can't just go around now and say, "Oh, well, we didn't know the details." It was all very clear. It was all very, very clear. David, 72% of them, when asked, believed that October 7 was justified or was a correct thing to do.
Well, there's an island in the Pacific for those 72%.
Maybe they should go and face 72 virgins instead. I don't know. The thing is, of course, when we talk about, or we can send them to the island of Sodor. I don't know. So when we talk about 72% of these people are actually approving of October
72. You're about to say 72 virgins.
I know. I was about to say 72 virgins. When we talk about 72% agreeing with October 7, of course, there are some who say, well, at least it's not 100%. Or there are still 28% who don't agree. I don't really know what the 28% actually think. Maybe they're just as messed up, but they just think that October 7 wasn't a smart thing to do. Who knows? But at least 72% here think that it was a good thing to do. I think that there is too great of a risk to even let these people still continue to stay where they are. They should be gone. They should go away. They have overstayed their welcome. They have overstayed their right to live in that place. They should go and live somewhere far, far, far away. Far away. Maybe in Greenland, maybe in Antarctica, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. On Mars, not sure. But these people are obviously sick. They're obviously messed up. How sick can you be that this is basically what you stand for? They complain about how Gaza was beautiful before the war. But apparently it was so bad that they justified going out and raping and killing and murdering and burning and torturing and taking hostage and so on. This is a good recommendation. Pakistan. I think they should all go to Pakistan. That's good. That's what is happening. Now, the reports from the response from Israel is still that nobody should be sharing this as if it is true. I don't want to be as sensitive and abide by it. I want to talk about it as if it is completely true. Because I don't see a reason why Hamas would at this point just make this up. It wasn't even in the hands of Hamas, honestly. Hamas just opened the gates and let people left and right flood into Israel with them. So Hamas, together with other terrorist organizations and with civilians together, killed people and took others as hostage. It was then civilians who came in here and who took this family as hostages and handed them over to other fellow terrorists. They're all terrorists. Anybody who engaged in this is a terrorist, and they all deserve death, to be very honest. I don't think that they deserve any less. So this is what is there to what there is to say. That is what there is to say. It was first CNN today that reported this once again as news. CNN reports Hamas plans to release the bodies of Shiri Bibas and her 2 young children, Ariel and Kfir, this Thursday. All 3 were alive when they were kidnapped. They were all alive. They are dead, as far as they claim. The family made a statement and said, in the past few hours, we have been in turmoil following Hamas spokesperson's announcement about the planned return of our Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir this Thursday. Okay, it's supposed to be on Thursday. As part of the hostages remains release phase. We want to make it clear that while we are aware of these reports, we have not received any official confirmation regarding this matter. Until we receive definitive confirmation, our journey is not over. We ask the media and the public to respect our privacy and refrain from contacting us about this matter. So the family is still not acknowledging it. They are still saying we don't want to confirm that they are actually dead, but this is just something that the family asks for, which is why the government of Israel also abides by this. They just ask for nobody to spread this idea that they are dead until there is official confirmation from Israel itself. So, yeah, we will see. We will see. But in my opinion, once it is fully confirmed and their dead bodies are released, everyone should be confronted with the very, very clear fact that we are dealing with an entire population that finds it completely acceptable to take little babies as hostages and use them for negotiations, and to then kill them and deliver their dead bodies while still talking about freedom and still talking about peace and still talking about resistance.